It's 2:10. Let's get started. Welcome to Econ 174, 274. I'm Ted Miguel, and I'll be leading this class on global poverty and impact evaluation. Thanks for coming today. A couple things first. Pierre and Liang have been passing out syllabi and a short sort of one-page account of life in rural Africa we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Raise your hand if you haven't yet gotten one of those. Okay, so some folks towards the back. So maybe we can just, while I get started, pass some of those out. Great. And if you don't have one, maybe I think we have enough. I think also given the capacity of this room and the number of people enrolled, you guys are all going to get to know each other pretty well. You're going to be cozy. So you may have a neighbor who has one of these that you can kind of peek at. Hi. We have some new folks, actually, Liang and Pierre coming in, who may want some of those too. They should have a copy for you for the syllabus. Great. Okay, I'm going to get started. A lot of material from the syllabus anyway will be on the slide, so, or maybe you can look over the shoulder of the neighbor. So again, I'm Ted Miguel. I want to start with some logistics and a little bit of course description, and then we're going to get into a little bit more detail about what the course is going to focus on, and hopefully in the second half of lecture day we'll actually start getting into material. But I will also leave time for questions, because there's always a lot of issues around course structure, logistics that we should get through in the first lecture. So one bit of logistics. My office hours are Monday mornings, 9:30 to 11:30 in Evans, in my office in Evans Hall, in the econ department. I'm basically getting some help setting up office hours appointments these days, so I put the contact information up there, Jeanette Aguilar. You can email her and she will give you an office hour slot. And I look forward to meeting with you guys and getting to know you better in office hours. There are two GSIs, Pierre Bacchus and Liang Bai. Maybe I can just ask Pierre and Liang to stand up so you guys recognize them. I think Liang has already had a couple of his sections today. Pierre will have his sections maybe Thursday. You guys are very lucky to have these guys as GSIs. Let me just say a word or two about each of them. Liang actually GSI'd another course of mine, Econ 172, a few years ago. It was a great GSI. Liang's originally from China, and he has a series of different dissertation research projects focusing on development issues both in China and India. And so he has a lot of expertise and fieldwork experience actually also in Africa. So, because we'd worked together in Kenya. So Liang really brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table, and he's a great teacher. Pierre is French. Pierre also GSI'd another class of mine last year. Pierre also has fieldwork experience in Africa and has several ongoing research projects both in Africa and Latin America. So you guys, your GSIs sort of span the globe in terms of their interest and their experience, plus they're very experienced GSIs and great GSIs. So you guys are really lucky to have these guys. I'm really happy to be working with them this term. So a couple of you have come up at the beginning of class or emailed me about enrollment issues. They changed the room of this class a month or two ago to a bigger class. I think there may still be a waiting list, although most people have cleared off the waiting list. So if you still have enrollment issues, please contact Ginny Sadel in Econ, and that's her contact information. She's in Evans 547. So she can answer any remaining issues that you have. I tend not to know all the details about enrollment, but definitely approach me if you have questions or if there's anything I can help you with, and as well as the GSIs. And hopefully we can get everybody into the class. Okay, so let me say a little bit more about the class itself, but before getting there, let me pause. Any questions on those logistics so far in terms of enrollment or office hours, GSIs? Great. So description. So this is what's actually written on the syllabus. The course is going to explore the tools that we have and that we use for rigorously evaluating anti-poverty programs. Understanding the impact of policies and projects and programs is obviously critical for all of us interested in international development. We want to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But it's also important for people not interested in international development. You might be interested in program evaluation or impact evaluation in the U.S., related to programs in the U.S. A lot of the tools we're learning here could be very useful for people working in private companies who are interested in understanding the impact of different approaches, marketing campaigns, etc. So there's a set of tools that we're going to go through in a lot of detail this term that can be applied to a lot of different things. But our application is going to be anti-poverty programs and international development. And there's going to be a particular focus to ground the course in a particular reality, a particular historical, institutional, political, and social reality. We're going to focus on one region of the world for the most part, which is sub-Saharan Africa. So today in a couple of lectures, we're certainly going to bring in comparative discussion of different global regions. We can't just understand sub-Saharan Africa or any one region in isolation, not in the world the way it is today. But we're going to focus on sub-Saharan Africa. We're going to focus on policies, programs, research papers, overwhelmingly in sub-Saharan Africa. And then the goal of the course is to understand a bunch of the tools of impact evaluation, but to take something away about the reality of development in sub-Saharan Africa as well. So there's this sort of dual purpose of the course. Now, the prereqs, I think a lot of people actually emailed me about the prereqs in November, December. You need to have some intermediate level economics to have a sense for the kinds of economic models we're going to be talking about. And you need to have some training in statistics or econometrics. So if you don't know what a linear regression is at all, and when I say linear regression, that's sort of a new term to you, then we really have to talk about whether this course is a good fit. It may make more sense to take more statistics or econometrics and then take this course again next year. So folks who are on the fence about that, please come talk to me about it. Now, there's something different about this course relative to other courses I've taught in the past, which is this is the first time I've taught a course that is formally both an undergrad class, Econ 174, and a grad class, really a master's level class, Econ 274. I previously taught undergrad class 172, which is related to this class, and there's certainly overlapping content for people, and I don't think there are many, because most folks who had taken Econ 172, my other class, emailed me and said, hey, should I take 174? And I told them, no, there's enough overlap that it's not worth taking this class in addition to 172. So if you have taken 172 and you want to take 174 again, we should talk really soon, because it really doesn't make sense. The goal of this course, relative to Econ 172, is to dive more deeply into the applied econometric methods of impact evaluation, while still being grounded in a particular region, in this case Africa. As I'll talk about in more detail in a minute, the 274 students, the master's level students, will have some additional material on their assignments and some additional material on their exams, which will set it apart from 174. So more challenging material, additional material, plus their section, one of the 4 sections of this course, is going to be tailored to the master's level students, or the graduate students, where again, there will be even more of a focus on the applied econometric methods than there is for 174. That said, for the advanced undergrad 174 students, we're going to be going into a lot of detail about these methods, and you're going to hopefully learn a lot. But there will be additional, more challenging material for the master's level students. Okay, so a couple more of the the background logistics. I typically grade on a curve just in the sense that I set the median around a B+. Now I shift it around a bit year to year. I get a sense of how students are performing relative to other years, and there's some flexibility on that. But just to give you a sense, the median grade is a B+ typically in this class. There will be separate grading for 174 and 274, of course, because there'll be different assignments. And what will the grading consist of? There'll be problem sets. There'll be 3 problem sets throughout the term. Each will be worth 10% of the grade. To do the problem sets, which will be the problem sets will be a combination of statistical and econometric analysis, some solving of simple mathematical economic models, and some short essay writing. That's typically how I structure exams as well as problem sets, a combination of those 3 elements. But to do the statistical and econometric analysis, you will need to use statistical software, and I'll ask everybody to use Stata, which is very widely used software among economics researchers, as well as lots of other social science researchers, epidemiologists, etc. The syllabus lays out in detail how you can get access to Stata. You can purchase it. There's a student purchase rate, which is quite affordable, or you can use it in one of the university computer labs for free. Those are really the options. So if you have questions about that, please ask the GSIs, because they're the ones who investigated these different options. They can help you get access to Stata. But basically what I'll do for the problem sets is I'll post on BSpace the data set I want you to use in Stata. You'll download it and apply the techniques and methods we're learning in class to get some answers. So problem sets are a big part of the grade. The second main part of the grade is a midterm. The midterm will be a quarter of the grade, and it will feature the material for the first half of the course. And again, the structure of the exams will be similar to the structure of problem sets in having a combination of applied statistical and econometric methods, applied economic models, and some short essay writing. And the short essay writing I take seriously and is quite important because we're going to be doing more than solving equations. You have to be able to think through the methods and understand when to use them and when not to use them. One of the trickiest parts about impact evaluation is figuring out which method is appropriate given your setting, the project you're studying, the data that you have. And talking through those issues is going to be important. The final exam will take place during the regular exam period. It'll be 35% of the grade. And as I mentioned before, Econ 274 students will have some additional material both on problem sets and on exams, a lot of which will be laid out in their section, the Econ 274 section. Finally, class participation and attendance will be 10% of the grade. Now, that's a lot, but part of the reason why I put so much weight on it is because I really encourage participation in this class, and it's very important to generate an interesting discussion and dialogue in the course. So there are 2 main components of this attendance and participation grade. 5% of it is going to be based on the comments that you make here in lecture and the comments that you make in your section. So I'm going to be in touch with the GSIs, and they're going to be keeping track of who's making constructive comments, who's engaged in the material, and that's going to factor into your grade, both lecture and section. The other 5% is going to be based on something that's new to me, may not be new to you, which is we're actually going to be using clickers in this class. Does anybody know what clickers are? Have you used them in other classes? Okay, so maybe about a third of you have used them. This is actually the wireless base station for clickers. What clickers allow me to do is ask a question in class and actually poll you guys about what you think the answer is. So let's say we're having a really interesting discussion about whether one should use a randomized control trial or a regression discontinuity design for a given program. We're trying to talk about the pros and cons. I could poll you guys, and each of you could take your individual clicker, which looks like this, and you can buy at the Cal bookstore, and maybe a randomized control trial, I say that answer is A, and regression discontinuity is B. So I think the answer is A. I press A here. Oh, it turned off. I press A. Oh, I actually started a question. I'm going to tell you guys there's a question opening here, and I'll say, think about it for a minute, talk to your neighbor, try to figure out what the right answer is. I think the right answer is A. I send my answer in. It's actually recorded here. I can already see the answer here. I stop the poll, and I clicked A before already. So 100% of the answers are A. Everybody thinks, the right answer is A. So I'll be able to show you guys in real time what everybody thinks about a certain issue, and I'll also know what you guys think. And in terms of how it figures into your grade, what I want you to do is to click in when I pose questions. I'll be keeping track of exactly how many polls I'm taking in class, and each of you is going to buy one of these clickers at the bookstore. You register it online with a unique ID number on the back of the clicker. All this is laid out on the syllabus, plus I gave you links on the syllabus to how to do this. And then when you come to class and click in, I'm going to know it's you, and I'll know out of the 4 questions I asked in a lecture, I'll know that you kind of clicked in on 3 of them or 4 of them. And so it's really a question of just being engaged in the discussion in class and participating more than the right answer or the wrong answer. Because I think a lot of the questions I'm going to pose may not have a strictly correct answer or wrong answer. It may be a question of judgment. But it's really more an issue of participation. That's what I want to encourage. This class is actually a little bigger than the classes I taught before. Usually I taught classes of more like 80 students. This is 120. Those classes get bigger. Being able to get this sort of feedback through the clickers is kind of neat because it'll allow me to kind of poll you guys quickly. Now, people ask the question, based on the frequently asked questions online, because I never used this before, like what if I forget my clicker? What if my clicker runs out of batteries? What if the dog ate my clicker? Happens. Don't worry, because the 4 lowest clicker scores, 4 lectures with the lowest clicker scores are going to be dropped from your participation grade. Sometimes you're sick, you miss lecture, things happen, you have to do something else. That's okay. If you're not going to be in lecture for more than 4 lectures for some reason, probably it's serious enough an issue that you'd want to let me and the GSIs know so we can sort of figure out what to do. Okay, but that's going to be the system. So missing a couple lectures or forgetting your clicker isn't going to be the end of the world because we're going to drop the low scores. Yeah. Yeah. Not the right answer. Yeah, so a lot of times the questions won't have a right or wrong answer. So let's say I had 4 questions in a given lecture. I'm just going to want to see that you clicked in for all 4 or 3 out of the 4. If you clicked in for 3 out of 4, you'll get 3/4 credit for that lecture in terms of your class participation. For the 5% of your grade, that's just based on clicker participation. There's the other 5% of the participation score that's based on the quantity and quality of comments in lecture and in section. Again, this is a pretty big lecture, over 100 people, and so it's not like every single student, every lecture is going to be making comments in lecture, but section participation will also count. Any other clicker questions? That's a great question. I don't know the answer. I suspect the answer is yes, but the people at ETS, the Educational Technology Services, they have a website all about clickers with all these frequently asked questions, and they have a help email, so I would just ask them. The plan right now is to, and let me just close this poll. The plan right now is for me to start using the clickers in lecture next Tuesday. So we all have like 1 week to figure it out. Actually, I brought the base station today, but I'm not expecting anybody to have their clicker today or Thursday. But let's try to all kind of collectively figure out the registration process. And you asked a great question. There's no point if your friend is not using his or her clicker this term for you to not use their clicker in my book. But why don't you find out the answer to that? You can? You can kind of re-register under another ID. Or great. Okay, so there is the online registration on the syllabus, and hopefully that'll be feasible. Tara.
So you register for 45% of the class where you're so even if it's the same term, you can use the same clicker somebody else as long as it's the same
Oh, is that right? Perfect. Great. Thank you for the answer to that. So it seems like that is very much doable and could be, obviously cost saving for people. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I see. Got it. I'm kind of pro clicker in the sense that like I don't want the person in the front being like LOL whatever. No, I'm just clicking in. Answer B. So I kind of feel pro clicker. But let's play it by ear. And if there's like an overwhelming groundswell of support for the cell phone app, then I'll reconsider. You guys can just like SMS me like yes. Any other questions on clickers? Tara. Sorry, what happened? Oh, is it really? Oh gosh. I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder if it's just not connected well or something. Is that better now that I push it in? It's a what? 60 hertz. I'm sure you're right. I have no idea how to do that, but it sounds really awesome. Maybe after class you can show me. Thank you. I'm probably at least 70 hertz. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe it has something to do with that thing up there, but it's actually a good point. And maybe I'll ask Liang and Pierre to figure out who in ETS can answer that question. Thanks. Okay. So one last thing. The lectures are going to be screencast this term. So what that means, it's sort of like an audio podcast with this screen, with a sort of presentation screen. There's no camera filming us, but the content on this screen will go online as well. That's why part of why I'm using the mic is so they can record it. It's going to go up with a 2-week delay. Part of the reason for that is I think it's very important folks do attend lecture and participate, and it really adds a lot of value, I think, to the learning experience. And so we're going to have a 2-week delay, but I've confirmed with Educational Technology Services that in advance of both the midterm and the final, they can bring us up to date immediately. So as soon as the last lecture before the midterm takes place, it'll go online, so you have time to review it before the midterm. Same thing for the final. And the value of having these lectures online, of course, is you can A, sort of review the material by listening to the lecture again if there was a point you weren't clear on, and B, it may change a little bit of your focus in lecture. Maybe you don't have to worry about writing down, taking notes on every word because you can review the lecture online. So I do look forward to people's feedback along the way on how it's going, if the content is getting up there in a timely way, if there are issues with it, if you think it adds value or takes away. Let's start a conversation. It's the first time I've screencast or podcast lectures, so I'm also just curious to hear how it's going. So I think you can find them on that website, plus they're on YouTube and stuff as well. Okay. So BSpace is going to be the platform for this course, as usual, I guess. The syllabus is up there. I think the readings will be updated soon, or they've already been updated in the next couple days. In the next couple days, the readings will be updated. There's also a course reader at Copy Central, actually in 2 parts, pre-midterm, post-midterm, just so it isn't some huge thing you have to lug around. So those are the options for the articles in the course. There are multiple chapters on the syllabus, as you can see if you leaf through it from these 4 books. These are all paperback books that are cheap on Amazon, just FYI, and there are several chapters of each of them. Now, this last book, the Angerson Pischke, has been added to the syllabus mainly for the 274 students. The 174 students are welcome to get it and read the relevant extra econometric material in this book when we go through topics. But there's a level of technical detail in that book that is a bit above what I'm going to expect the Econ 174 students to be completely comfortable with. You're going to be exposed to some of it in lecture, both the 174 and the 274 students, but the 274 students will get more of the technical details in section and will be expected to read these chapters. So that's a little bit of a difference between the 174 and 274 students. And that's really like an applied econometrics, kind of user-friendly book. You can kind of tell by the title already, mostly harmless econometrics. The other 3 books are more development or Africa focused, although there is some detailed discussion of research methodology as well, especially in the Economic Gangsters book, in a couple of the chapters. Let me pause for a second. Any questions on the assignments or readings? Yeah. All of the readings in the reader are also online, except for I think the chapters from these books. That's how it's supposed to be, and hopefully within the next couple of days, everything online will be updated. Exactly. It's interesting. I was kind of toying with the idea of just abandoning the reading packet, and then we actually got the stats from Copy Central from last year, and over 70% of the students bought the course packet. They wanted the physical articles. I guess it saves you time from having to print out each reading, and it's kind of nice to have them all in one place. So we decided to go with the course packet. Again, we'll kind of see what usage is like, and if usage is low, then maybe next year we won't do it, but for now at least. Any other questions or comments on readings? There's usually 1 to 2 readings per lecture. I try to keep it to 1, but sometimes there's 2. So there's an attempt to keep the reading manageable. Of course, if there's too many readings, folks do kind of less of the reading, I think. So I'm trying to keep it at the right level. And this is the syllabus outline. So you may want to grab your syllabus now. Take a look. These are the 9 modules for the course, each of which is about between 2 to 5 weeks, 2 to 5 lectures. Sorry, so there's 27 lectures in all. The 28th lecture slot is the midterm. The midterm will take place in class. There's 14 weeks in the course. Yeah, those are mine actually. So why don't you? That's okay. But it's okay. What's your name, by the way? No, just kidding. I think these guys. You don't have any extra ones? Maybe can you maybe share? You know what? Is it okay? Yeah. Does anybody near you have any, or none of you guys have them? You guys all came in. You know what? Here, why don't you take it? They have extra ones? Okay. Great. Okay. Sorry. Don't feel bad because you're like the 4th person who's